Welcome to the South Ops Fire Weather Webcast for Tuesday, January 7th. I'm your host, Kristen Stewart. Let's start off with checking out our water vapor satellite imagery for this morning to continue highlighting our main weather story this week. Yesterday, I mentioned a weak area of low pressure moving through Nevada. Now you will notice that it has strengthened since yesterday and is now drifting southward towards the Baja Peninsula. This feature is responsible for kicking up very strong north to northeast winds across the southern part of the state that will continue through Thursday as it hangs out over northern Baja. I wanted to show a quick look at the visible satellite imagery to show that there is moisture with this inside slider. You will notice a lot of low clouds spread across the San Joaquin Valley, banked up against the adjacent slopes. There is also a lot of mid-cloud cover over the southeast portion of the state. This system is actually producing light showers over the Southern California mountains and deserts. There will not be a whole lot of accumulation with these showers, but a few inches of snow is possible above 6,000 feet or so. This precipitation is not expected to move closer to the coastal areas. Our wind event is well underway this morning, as you can see widespread gusty north to northeast winds across Southern California. Current wind gusts over 35 miles an hour are plotted here from Santa Barbara County to the Inland Empire. Most of the windier areas are isolated to the higher terrain, with widespread gusts currently in the 35 to 50 mile an hour range. Expect these winds to strengthen and become more widespread into the lower terrain through the morning, peaking in the late morning to early afternoon hours. Expect the winds to peak around 20 to 30 miles an hour with gusts of 50 miles an hour across the usual wind-prone areas, except higher gusts of 60 plus miles an hour for the favored ridges and canyons. Due to the moisture from the inside slider, current humidity values remain rather high across the region. These values are expected to come down as the winds pick up later this morning and into the afternoon, but will likely be slow to come down. As a result, minimum humidity will likely remain above 15% for the most part today. Even though humidity may not be at critical levels, the strength of the wind, combined with critically dry fuels, fully warrant dangerous fire weather conditions to develop. Winds are expected to peak at their strongest tonight through late Wednesday morning or early afternoon. There will be very strong upper-level wind support aloft to enhance the surface winds as the inside slider parks itself over northern Baja. This will allow widespread north to northeast winds of 20 to 40 miles an hour to develop, with gusts ranging at least 50 to 80 miles an hour. There is a high likelihood of these stronger winds surfacing across areas that usually do not see gusty winds during Santa Ana wind events, including the San Gabriel Valley and the eastern San Fernando Valley. Some of the most wind-prone ridgetops may see gusts of at least 80 to 100 miles an hour at times during this time frame, and may even surface at lower elevations with mountain wave activity. Please be careful when driving and be aware of dangerous crosswinds, particularly along the 118 and 210 freeways, and blowing dust and debris. Gusty winds are also expected to spread into the higher terrain of Santa Barbara County, though not nearly as strong. Winds will begin to decrease Wednesday evening through Thursday afternoon as the inside slider over northern Baja begins to drift farther east. Widespread north to northeast winds of 15 to 25 miles an hour with gusts of 45 miles an hour are likely across wind-prone areas of Southern California on Thursday, except higher gusts of 50 plus miles an hour for the favored ridges and canyons. Much lighter winds are expected for Friday. Humidity is expected to lower further by Wednesday into the single digits and low teens. It will remain quite dry through early next week, though Wednesday and Thursday will be the driest. Overnight recoveries will be very poor to non-existent, especially during the periods of strongest winds. As a result of the strong winds expected the next couple days, alongside very low humidity and critically dry fuels, fire danger will be very high through Thursday across the majority of Southern California. Red flag warnings have been issued by the National Weather Service indicating critical fire weather conditions during this period, indicated by the pink shading on this map. Areas with the strongest winds during the peak of the event later today through Wednesday morning will be highlighted under a particularly dangerous situation. This indicates that conditions are as bad as things can get fire weather-wise. Please refer to the red flag warning text products from your local National Weather Service office for more specific details. In addition, the Santa Barbara County mountains have also been added to the red flag warnings, as winds will be quite breezy in those areas during this event. Given the fact that there has been very little precipitation so far this season, this is a very dangerous situation for Southern California, so please continue to monitor the forecast and current weather this week. We will not add much detail past this current week given the upcoming high-impact wind event. However, We will note that this weekend and going into early next week, there is another potential for an inside slider to bring additional rounds of gusty northerly winds with very dry conditions. We will have more details on this later on, but it is imperative to stay aware that Southern California is still very much in fire season. The large fire threat will become very high across Southern California today through Thursday due to strong Santa Ana winds along with very low humidity and critically dry fuels. High-risk designations remain in place for the South Coast and adjacent mountains. The large fire threat will lower some Friday into the weekend with weaker winds, but it will remain very dry. Then we will continue to monitor the weekend and early next week for additional rounds of gusty offshore winds. Please continue to monitor the forecast and current weather conditions as we go through this week. And that's all I have for today. Thanks for tuning in. Our next webcast will be on Wednesday, January 8th. Have a fantastic day, and please stay safe.